Mark Pyers, home-based business tax coach and wealth coach, CEO and founder of the Academy of Financial Education. And as always, guys, on behalf of myself and my beautiful wife and business partner, Mrs. Olavida Pyers, CFO of the Academy of Financial Education, we wish each and every one of you prosperity because you truly deserve it. Financial freedom from the current system of debt. Let's face it, guys, we have got to get all payable debt out of the way. We've got to get out of debt. If you've ever hoped and prayed to be financially free, you've got to get rid of debt. We wish you financial freedom from the plantation of taxation. That's another debt that we've got to get rid of. You have to learn how to legally, ethically, and morally legally reduce, or even, as my wife and I have done, legally wipe out all of your federal and state income taxes, even your Social Security and Medicare taxes, because those are taxes as well. Last but not least, financial freedom from being dependent, solely dependent on the plantation of big corporation. That's where you exchange 40 hours or more per week of your most valuable assets, something you'll never get more of, for 40 plus years of your life. Some people today will never retire because of how the world has changed and the rules have changed. Hoping to retire on 40% of what you're struggling to live on a day. So that was a long introduction. I titled this message this morning, Profits are better than wages. Wages will help you pay your bills. Profits will help you create financial freedom. Let me say that again. Profits are better than wages. Wages will help you pay your bills. It'll help you keep a roof over your head. It'll help you keep the lights on. It'll help you be able to maybe have transportation, allow you to have a weekend type of life. You know what I'm talking about. Come on now. It'll allow you to have a weekend type of life, living for the weekend, because you're spending the week working on the plantation of big corporation. Okay, nothing wrong with having a job, but there's something wrong with being dependent all of your life on a job, something that you have no control over. So profits are better than wages. Wages will help you pay your bills. Profits will give you financial freedom. And so let's jump into this information. Let me define the difference between wages and profits and give you the significant difference of the two. Wages are typically something that someone works for, someone exchanges their time for. Typically that's going to be an employee, right? And it can be someone that's self-employed. It requires you to exchange your time for money. Okay, those are wages. That is the wage that someone has decided your time is worth. Okay, and typically wages are taxed at the highest tax bracket than most other categories. Okay, so if you're earning wages, you're going to be significantly taxed higher than someone that's earning a profit. Okay, than someone that is investing money and the money is actually making money. Okay, you guys hit the share button. There's a lot of people sleeping this morning. They got to hear this message. Okay, profits are better than wages. Wages will help you pay your bills. Profits will give you financial freedom. Okay, and so I had a couple of questions this morning and I'll make a statement. My first question is, how many hours do you truly work on your job? I was having this conversation with a gentleman yesterday, and I asked him, I said, let me ask you a question. How many hours do you truly work on your job? And in our industry, where I'm at, we work 4 days a week, 10 hours a day, okay? And so he said, of course, he says 10 hours. He says, you know, sometimes doing events I work 12 or 14 hours. And I said, really? And so he says, I work 10 hours typically, and 12 to 14 hours if I'm on a project. And I said, really? I said, well, let's get out a piece of paper. And so he got out a piece of paper, and I said, let me ask you a question. How long does it take you to get up in the morning? How long does it take you to prepare for work in the morning? And he says, about an hour and a half. I said, write that down on a piece of paper. I said, how long does it take you to from leaving your home to work? How long does it take you to get here? He said, about 45 minutes. I said, okay, go ahead and round that up to an hour. Okay, so now we're at 2.5 hours in the morning just prepping to go to work. I said, and then you come to work and you spend 10 hours on the job, right? He said, yes. I said, how long does it take you to go home? He said, about 2 hours in the evening because of traffic. I said, write that 2 hours down, right? So now we have another 2 hours. We have 2.5 hours in the morning and 2 hours after work, okay? So that's 4.5 hours on top of the 10 hours. I said, what time do you go to bed in the evening? He said around 9:30, 9 or 9:30. I said, what time do you go to bed on the weekend? He said about 11 to 12. I said, okay, so you're going to bed about 2 hours earlier during the week. Why? Because you got to go to work. So those 2 hours belong to your employer as well, right? So now we're up to 6.5 hours on top of the 10 hours that you're devoting to your boss on the job. And so the average person that works an 8 to 10 hour schedule devotes about 16 hours of their lives, but they only get paid for 10. He said, wow, man, where do you come up with this information? He said, I would have never even thought about it that way. I said, so you're exchanging 10 hours for wages, and you're giving up 6 hours additional of your life. So wages will help you pay your bills. Profit will give you true financial freedom, okay? So I ask you to figure that out for yourself today. How much of your life do you give to your job, including the time that it takes for you to prep to get there, the time to commute to get there, the time that it takes for you to get from work to home? All of that belongs to your job. And then how much time in the evening are you devoting to get ready to do it all over again? I'll let you think about that. So let's jump into the wages and the profits. I'm going to try to do this, guys, in about 10 minutes. Okay, so wages are typically something you exchange your time for, okay? Profits is income that comes from money making money. Profits is something that is money that comes from you not having to exchange your time. You may have exchanged your time in the beginning, but it's continuing to spin off cash flow to you without it no longer requiring your time. Great example. That's why I say a network marketing business is the best business to be in, because it is a team building business. The profits are income that spin off of money making money, such as investments. Okay, I'll give you a great example. I had a gentleman just sign up in our primary business. This gentleman has had my link for over 2 years, almost 2 years. He said, I've been holding on to this link for almost 2 years. I was wondering, where did this guy come from? Because his name didn't sound familiar to me. I said, how did he get my link? Because I don't typically post my link all over the place. And I called him, and the guy says, brother, I've been holding on to this link almost 2 years. He says, when I first learned about the opportunity, life got in the way. And then all of a sudden he signed up. Okay? And he's moving forward now to go through the process of building his business so he can start earning profits, okay? So I consider that to be profits. I planted that seed almost 2 years ago, somewhere online, cultivated it, okay? And now I'm about to reap, or I'm already reaping the benefits of planting that seed. Okay, it's like the bamboo tree. You guys ever heard the story of the bamboo tree? So it's an amazing story because it's almost like how your business works in network marketing for some people. Okay, a bamboo tree. Don't even know how I got on talking about no trees, but anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up and put it in a nice, pretty box in a minute, right? But I gotta tell you about the bamboo tree. So the bamboo tree, you plant a bamboo tree, and you must water that bamboo tree every day. If you miss one day of watering that bamboo tree, it's never gonna grow. Okay? And you plant that bamboo tree, and it takes, I believe, now don't hold me to these specifics, you can go do your research on Google, okay? But it takes, I believe it's 9 months to see any evidence that you planted this bamboo tree, okay? But you must water it every day. If you skip one day of watering this bamboo tree, it will not grow, okay? It takes 9 months of belief. It takes 9 months of believing, even though you can't see what's happening underneath the ground with this bamboo tree. It takes 9 months before it sprouts up. But guess what? When it sprouts up, after 9 months, in 90 days, the bamboo tree will grow almost 100 feet. See, so when you're out there sharing your information with people and they don't get it today, don't worry about it. All you're doing is planting seeds. All you're doing is planting seeds, okay? Some seeds are going to fall on good soil, and some seeds are going to fall to the side, okay? I threw that in for free. That wasn't even part of my message this morning. Okay, so profits are better than wages. So profits are generated from you doing an activity one time, and it's continuously paying you without requiring your time. Okay? Now, profits are taxed significantly less than wages. Okay? Profits are taxed significantly less than wages. You say, well, how so? Okay? Well, I'll give you a great example. Okay? If I earn money in my business on a residual basis, okay, I get to accumulate what's called tax write-offs to offset the taxes on my profits. Let me give you a great example and tell you a story of a business partner of ours. Okay, this young lady got started in the business. She was typically her wages from her job was about $50,000 a year. Okay, she earned right around $15,000 in her business. Okay, so her wages were about $50,000. She earned an additional $15,000 in her home-based business, okay? When I filed her taxes, her tax deductions, her incentive for going out and building the business and building the profits, because most of it was residual. Most of it came from her efforts of building a team, okay? Now, she played some part in earning some of it, but a lot of it came from building a team and understanding how to leverage the efforts of others, just like your employer does. Guys, I mean, fair exchange, no robbery. If I put you in a position to be able to save $10,000 in taxes this year and earn $15,000, should I not receive some type of compensation from either you or the company? In this case, the company is sharing the profits when you go out and you share their products and services, okay? So she earned $50,000 on her job, and she earned an additional $15,000 in her business. When I put in her tax deductions, which were 90% of things she was already doing before she got started in the business, like paying her rent, paying her lights, paying her water, paying her gas, paying her security alarm, driving her vehicle, using her cell phone, taking care of her children, because she had 3 children, and she hired 2 of them in her business, and she was able to write off upwards of $10,000 for paying her children, and then her children had to turn around and pay rent and pay for the food, so she really never spent any money. She took the same money she was using to take care of them, and she moved that money toward a tax-deductible activity, and the money came back to her tax-free, and it was tax-free to the kids. So I threw that in for free too. When I got done populating her tax deductions, it wiped out 100% of the federal taxes on that $15,000 on her profits. It wiped out 100% of the state taxes on that $15,000 on her profit. It wiped out 100% of the Social Security on that $15,000 of her profits. It wiped out 100% of the Medicare taxes on that $15,000 additional income in profits, not wages. And because she earned the $15,000 pursuing a profit, the tax write-offs also drastically reduced the taxes on her wages. Profits are better than wages, okay? And so, as you go throughout this day and you think about that question, how much time are you truly investing in your job? How many hours are you truly giving up to the plantation of big corporation? How many hours are you devoting to your job? And here's my last question about that. How many times have you been paid for the last Monday and the last Monday and the last Monday and the last Monday? See, unfortunately, when you're earning wages, you must show up again on Monday if you want to be paid again. You don't show up on Monday, you don't get paid again. In a business, in an opportunity where you have your money make money for you, okay? There is a significant difference between you exchanging your time for money or you exchanging your money for time. Let me say that again as I bring this to an end. Because a movement of money creates money, okay? There is a significant difference between you exchanging your time for money, something you'll never get back. You can't buy it back. It doesn't matter if you hit the lottery for millions of dollars, you'll never buy back your past. You'll never get that time back. You can only move forward. There is a significant difference between you exchanging your time for wages or exchanging your money for time. You can buy your time back. How do you buy your time back? Stop investing your most precious asset 100% into wages that requires you to perform and exchange your time, which means you physically have to be there, and start building profits that doesn't require you to significantly exchange time for it. And so I can assure you that I'm going to wake up here in the next few days, and this gentleman is going to have purchased his business package, launch his business, planted his bamboo tree, and I'm probably going to be asleep, and I'm going to have some profits come through my business that didn't require my time, and I am going to have some significant tax deductions to offset the penalty of earning that income through a system that continues to build and earn money without me having to get up to the alarm clock. So think about that. How much time are you dedicating to your job, and are you building a platform on wages? Are you building a platform on profits? If you don't have a home-based business, you are committing financial suicide, especially with the new tax laws that Donald Trump launched. I'm telling you right now, if you're not operating a business, you are committing financial suicide. There's never been a better time, and there's never going to be a better time for you to get started than right now. So guys, with that being said, look, have a great day. Profits are better than wages. How much time are you giving to the job for absolutely free? How about give that time to building profits so you don't have to spend the rest of your life working for wages? Share this video.